Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about measuring items in non-standard units of measurement. So a standard unit of measurement would be like with a ruler. So we would measure either in inches or we'd measure in centimeters. If we're going to measure like non-standard units, we might use things like Unifix cubes, or we could use paper clips. And paper clips, we have big ones and we have little ones. So they're going to measure things differently. So today we're going to practice measuring, and we're going to record the lengths of some objects that we have here on this paper. You'll notice as I'm measuring that things are not always exact. So when they tell us to record, it'll say about. So it might be about 4 centimeter cubes long, or Unifix cubes long, or it might be about 3. So it won't be exact, but it'll be closest to that number. That's what we're going to do today. So follow along, and then you'll do your independent practice on your own. So we're going to look at these different objects here. I'm going to use my Unifix cubes today because everybody should have a set of Unifix cubes at home to measure these objects. So the first object I have up here is a marker. So I'm just going to take my cubes and I'm going to measure. There's 1. I'm going to make sure they're connected. 2, 3, and it's a little more than 3. 4. So it's about 4 cubes long. So I'm just going to record on this line the number 4. That is how long that one is. Then I'm going to look at the marker lid, and I can already tell that it's shorter than that one, so I'm not going to need a 4. Let me see if I take 1. I need a little bit more than 1. So when I look at it, it's about 1.5, so it's between 1 and 2 centimeter Unifix cubes long. So I'm just going to record here. It's about, I'm going to say 1 because it's closer to 1 than 2. So it's about 1 cube long. Then I'm going to look at this. It's called red poster paint. It's just a container here, and I'm going to measure it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 4 cubes long also. The next thing I'm going to look at is this paintbrush. So I'm just going to look at the 4, and it's longer than that. So it's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 cubes long. So I'm going to record that here. Then I'm going to look at my eraser. It's 1, 2. It's about 2 cubes long. And the last thing I have to measure is a pencil. So I'm going to take my 2, I'm going to take my other 3, I'm going to put them together there, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The pencil is about 5 cubes long. So when I look at this, if I wanted to compare them, I would say that the marker is longer than the marker lid. Or I might say that the marker lid is shorter than the paintbrush. So we would use words like longer than and shorter than to compare the two objects. So we're going to measure and find the length of an object. It says each cube or paper clip is 1 unit. So I'm going to guess we all should have cubes at home because we sent those home. So I'm just going to use these to measure as we do this. So the first thing we have is a pencil. I'm going to come up and measure, the horse first, and then I'm going to measure the sheep. So if I look at my horse from line to line, because I have to go from the end of his hair to the end of his nose, he is about 3 cubes long. I'm going to look at my sheep, and I'm going to start here. They gave us a line to start and a line to stop, and the sheep is about 2 cubes long. So now I'm going to measure my pencil. I'm always going to start at the end, and I'm going to measure to the other end. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My first pencil is about 7 cubes long. So when I look at my second pencil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 cubes long. And then I'm going to look at my last pencil, and I can tell by looking at it that it's longer than this one, so I'm just going to start with my 5 cubes, and I'm going to add on. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is a lot more, so I think when I look at this one, it's closer to 8. It's about 8 cubes long. So it says, how can you tell which pencil on this page is the longest? The longest one would be the one that takes the most cubes. So the longest pencil on this page would be number 3. It took me more cubes to measure it than number 1 or number 2. So your job today is then to finish measuring, independent practice, the paintbrush, the pencil, the crayon, the bookmark, and then write the name of an object that is about 4 cubes long. So you need to find another object, measure it. This is just 4 cubes, so it's going to be about this long, and then just write the name of that object there. And then you'll also need to complete your homework and the problem solving.